Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy. I am getting ready to go out on my second test drive in the Chevy Volt after having let the batteries replenish overnight. So let's unplug this sucker and get her going. That's the plug. It's kind of, they shape it so that it sort of looks like a gas tank plug, very similar. You just hook this sucker up to any 110 volt outlet like that. It takes probably, it seems like it takes about 8 hours, give or take. And close this thing up to get a full charge back. That BMW out there that I've written about already, and the article's up on the website, takes a bit less. Only takes about 3, maybe 4 hours to juice up its batteries. But here's the big difference. The BMW is good for about 20 miles plus or minus of range on the batteries before it reverts to the IC engine, or at least begins to rely on it. Well, let's have a look here at what the Volt can do. Oh, and by the way, here's the stack of EP Autos magnets that are getting ready to go out. I'm on my way to do that right now. Okay, let's get in here and fire up. Hear that cool, funky electric sound? All right.
Now you can.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this. Bear with me a minute. Come on, ease off, man. Put you in my next Geraldo special. Come on, stop. Okay, got the fan down so that you guys can hear me. All right, hopefully you'll be able to see the instrument cluster. And to the left here, that's the indicator for the battery. And it's now fully green, and I have 51 miles of range on just the electric before the gas engine comes on. And I found the other day when I drove this thing that that's actually right on the money. I was able to go from my place here in the woods downtown to Roanoke, which is about 20-something miles away, give or take. Drive around a little bit down there and then turn around and come back. And I almost made it back, probably within 5 miles of my place here in the woods before the gas engine came back on. Here's the hybrid display, and I hope you can see this with my crappy little camera. I'm hoping, funds permitting, to get something better like a GoPro in the very near future. Now, this is similar to the display that you would see in most hybrids. There's the little display for the battery, there's the electric motor, and there's the gas engine. The big difference here is that the gas engine will not come on at all while I am driving. So let's boogie on down the road here a little bit and I'll show you. And that's pretty much irrespective of speed. You can knock up to 70, 80, or faster in this thing, and the gas engine will not come on. You can see right now, hopefully, the power flow. It shows the batteries are going to are sending electricity to the electric motor, which is driving the front wheels. I have ragged on the Volt before, but this 2017 one is changing my mind just a little bit, and let me explain that briefly. In the first place, you can actually operate this thing realistically, even if you live out in the woods like I do and have a fairly long drive into town on just the batteries. A 50-mile range is enough range for me, and probably for you, to go from A to B and back without having to stop to recharge. And that's a really important point, I think. I was impressed by the BMW 330e's performance, but its range, 15 or 20 miles, means that if I were to, say, drive that thing from my place to Roanoke, let's say I work downtown, I would have to plug it in for a few hours before turning around and going home if I wanted to make most use of the batteries and burn as little gas as possible. This thing, on the other hand, I could realistically drive this thing pretty much every day and never use any gas. That's pretty solid. Now, the other thing that's solid is that it's about $33,000, which is about $13,000 less than that BMW. Granted, it's a BMW. It's fast. It's it's cool. It's a BMW. This is just a Chevy in terms of prestige and curb appeal. But if you look at it from an economic point of view, this thing's not really that much more expensive than a well-equipped mid-size sedan with a gas engine, something like a Camry, let's say, or a Honda Accord. In fact, it's actually, if you factor in all of the amenities, it's about the same or even less. You know, this car has really nice stereo. It's got heated seats. It's got a heated steering wheel. See the little button for that? The only thing it doesn't have that I can see immediately is it doesn't have a panorama sunroof. but nicely equipped, leather seats, all of that. 33,000 bucks. Now, granted, it's still not necessarily the economical choice. If you want something really economical, you'd spend 22,000 or so on something like I don't know, a Mazda 3 or something along those lines that gets 40-something miles per gallon. Because it would take you a while to work off the difference in gas, but not necessarily that long. Especially if gas prices go up, which they probably will. The main thing that I'm going to criticize this car, I should say that I'm a little ambivalent about with this car. I think the $33,000 is a heavily discounted, heavily subsidized price. I'm pretty sure that General Motors is losing money on every one of these things that it sells. And if they price this thing at a point where they actually make some money, it would probably be closer to $40,000, and then it starts to make less sense. So they've got the price lower so as to try to get people into them, which is great. And if you want to go ahead and grab one right now while the prices are low, I think that's good. But I don't think it's sustainable. So there's that factor to consider. And the other thing to consider is that the nature of the thing. Any hybrid, this is a hybrid, that has a gas engine and has an electric motor, battery packs, it's got more stuff that potentially could go wrong. Not that it will, but the fact remains that the more stuff you have, the more the potential for something going wrong down the road when it's out of warranty. So on balance, I don't know. It really depends on what your situation is and who you are and what you want. But I will say that I'm not hating on this thing anymore. This is not a half-bad vehicle. It runs and performs really well. I can't fault it functionally, and it may even make a case for itself economically. So anyway, I'm going to write about it in greater depth over at epautos.com. I'm going to get these magnets out in the mail to those of you who are sending some money to donate to the site. You'll be getting them shortly, and if you'd like one, go to epautos.com and look on the right side of the page, and you'll see how that all works. Anyway, thanks for viewing, and we'll catch up with you